Here's how you add a map to the OWS system. First, let's go here and add a new map. New map. And we'll open that up. And right away, you want to go over to the management console here. And we want to go to the Zones tab. And we'll hit Add Zone. Now you've got a few different options here. First we're going to fill in the UE4 map name, which is my new map. Now for the zone name, the question we have to ask is how many zones do we want on this map? And each one of those zones would need to be given a unique name. For example, we could split this My New Map up into 4 different zones, and we could have 4 different unique zone names that are all loading the same My New Map UE4 map. But for this one here, we're just going to have one map equals one zone, and so I'm going to set the same name. These 2 fields here are for a special world composition sublevel filtering. For that, you will need a special custom engine modification that I wrote. We're not going to be messing with that today, and so we're going to skip that. And now we have our new zone. So come back over here, and let's throw together something here for our new zone. Let's grab a sky sphere, skylight, directional light, and we'll connect those 2 together. And let's add a terrain. That works. And let's see if we can find a material here. What do we got? Sandstone. Yeah, that'll work. And we will drop OWS doesn't use player starts, but I'll use this often just to get a location here to set. So one of the things that I want to also show you is that there are 2 different ways to test from the editor using OWS. The first method only works if you want to test a single map. And what you can do is you can go here and open up the game mode. And you'll see here it says debug start location and debug character name. This is where you would put the character name from OWS that you want to connect to. And here's where you would set the debug start location. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting that debug start location equal to this location that we just dropped down. So I'm copying the values from over here. And test for demo is the account that I want to test with. So I'm going to save that. And we want to always make sure too that run dedicated server is on. Every time that you make a copy of the project, for some reason it unselects that. So you'll have to set that the first time that you start up OWS. Okay, and let's take a look. Let's see here. We did not select our game mode. So I'm going to come over here. And in that new level, we have to choose our third-person game mode. Otherwise, it's not going to load the correct classes here when we start. Okay, and here we are on our new map. So this was how to test a single level in the editor, but if we had portals that went to other levels, that we could not test that. So the second way that you could test it is you can use the editor as a client. And what you have to do is you have to make sure that your RPG World Server app is running. And we need to go over back to the management console because we want to make sure that when we log in, we end up on the right map. So we're going to go here to Characters, find this test for demo. We're going to change it to start at my new map. And here's the XYZ starting position it's going to start at, which is not correct. So we're going to come back over here and find this start location again. And we've got 60, 160, 192. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to put 60, 160, 192. Scroll down to the bottom and save. So now, when we log in, that is where we're going to end up. Now, we'll come back here and we'll uncheck the Run Dedicated Server because we don't want UE4 to run a dedicated server. We're going to have the RPG World Server run that. And so what we have to do here, though, is we have to make sure we start in the login map. But there is something we forgot. If we run this the way it is right now, we're going to get an error about the chat manager because the chat manager has not been added to this level. So we're going to go grab this My Chat Manager, just drag it out wherever you want into the level. Otherwise, you're going to get a nasty error down here that repeats forever in output log that may not let you play. So now that we've done that, we can go down to Maps and we can switch to our login level. And now when we log in with that user, we're going to get taken to that location here that we set up, which is my new map, 6160 192. Let's give it a try. We got our character here. Now we hit select character, it's going to call that RPG World Server down here, and it's going to have it launch a map for us to play, and specifically it's going to launch the My New Map. So let's give it a try. You can see it's spinning up the server here. You can see here, started My New Map on port 7778. And here we are in our world, testing from our editor, so we didn't have to exit out of the editor and open up the batch file to start it up. We were able to test right here. So we have two different ways that we were able to test. We were able to test a single map by changing it to dedicated server and using the debug character name and debug start location in the game mode. That was one really good way to test a single map. This is what I normally do when I'm just working on one map. But the mode that we're in right now, if we had a portal to another map, we'd be able to run through it. The RPG World Server would spin it up, and it would work just like it would work if you were running a separate game client. Hope that helps. See ya.